Merab's coach gives his final commentary and shares thoughts before the clash with Umar Nurmagomedov. A lot has been said about the rivalry between the two bantamweights, which has only served this matchup well, in terms of promotion and even raising general interest among hardcores who were already engaged with this intriguing co-main event. Will Merab's cardio be able to overwhelm Umar in the same way that he's done to everybody he has fought? Or does Nurmagomedov's technicality negate the Georgian's intense pressure? These are among the most important and interesting questions regarding this matchup. Umar's team seem to have accepted that their fighter will most likely get taken down more than once, and the focus will likely be on trying to beat the champion on the feet. And according to Merab, he's planning to spend a considerable time of the bout in striking range to showcase his skills as a striker. Merab's coach shares his thoughts about the upcoming fight in a conversation with Anik and Florian.
I think that's it. Just keep a calm head and do what you always do. It's going to be up to Umar to stop what to what Merab does. I think that's the key. So I think Merab's cardio is always on point. You've seen what he's done against high-level guys. I said it last week. There's nothing that I'm looking at that leads me to believe he can't do that to Umar. But you're going to have to make adjustments on the fly when you're in there.
So do you think, again, Merab has used this so many times, do you think that Umar is going to be able to keep up with that pace? Do you think he's ready for something like Merab, for 25 minutes?
Well, look, again, the guy comes from a great team, got great training partners around him. I'm sure they train their asses off. So on that level, I think they believe he could keep up with it. But when you're in there, and you're mixing up really getting hit and, the takedowns, and the cardio and the pressure, we'll see what happens. Listen, Kenny, that's what makes this fight really interesting.
Alexander Volkanovski reveals that his rematch with Ilia Topuria is practically a done deal, and the public will most likely get the announcement soon. We didn't know what UFC was planning for the Georgian champion after his victory over Holloway. And while Topuria has made many different claims about fights with various opponents, including Islam at lightweight, none of it reflected UFC's actual plans. And at this point, fans are used to hearing individual fighters' plans. Anyway, the rematch with Volk was the first discussed option. The former champ entered the octagon after Ilia beat Max, and the two had a friendly exchange, with Ilia saying Alex is next for the belt. But after that day, he's played with many different options as next opponents on social media. All of that doesn't matter though, as according to Volkanovski, he is getting his rematch soon, and fans will find out about it shortly.
I've made it clear from the start, that I'm fighting for the belt next. We've made it clear. We even went and had our face-off. So that's going to happen. Look, the dates, we have been in talks, but it's not official. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I think I've given you enough anyway. You know what I mean? It's pretty obvious. You're seeing a lot of talks. We did the face-off. I think people are pretty certain that that's what's going to be next. So I don't think I'm going to get myself in trouble by saying that. So, we don't know the exact date. We've got rough ideas. Like I said, we've had chats. There's whispers out there. Maybe they're correct. Maybe they're ones that, we'll see. We'll leave that up for everyone to decide. But, I was always fighting for the belt next.
Islam Makhachev, and Umar's coach, reveals Khabib isn't very happy about how things are going in preparation for his fighters' title fights this weekend. Javier Mendez made this shocking statement in an interview with the Russian channel Oshataika, something that sparked discussions about possible problems in camp on social media. It's no secret to any fan who follows the sport closely that since his retirement, Khabib has adopted a role of the head coach for his team. And while Mendez is the official main trainer for the team, the former lightweight champion is the one who is the leader. And that dynamic is evident in own words of Mendez and fighters of Team Khabib. He isn't as involved with everything as many might assume though. As Nurmagomedov has himself stated, he doesn't like being a coach, but only does it because it's necessary to support his team and can't leave them without support during crucial time of the training camp leading to fights. He isn't involved in day-to-day training sessions back in Russia, but begins running things when training camps begin for specific fights involving any of his close relatives or teammates like Islam, Umar, Usman, or Abubakar. The former champion is honest about how nervous he gets as their fights get closer, with all of it peaking on fight day. And with the latest development, the Team Khabib fans now have a reason to be really nervous, aside from the fact that their beloved fighters are facing the most dangerous challengers this weekend. According to Javier Mendez, Khabib doesn't like the way Islam and Umar are looking days before their fights, and he's been lashing out at them on training sessions. Mendez's comments stirred up some drama in the Russian social media space, with the main theory being that there might be serious weight-cutting problems affecting Islam's, Umar's, or both of their performances in the final days of the camp. And that's why Khabib is so anxious about his fighters possibly losing both titles on Saturday. Here's what Mendez said about Khabib's behavior in camp, speaking with Ushitaika. Quote, "He is always nervous before his brothers fight, but for the past 2 or 3 days, it's especially getting to him. He's losing his cool, yelling at them at times because, well, he didn't like what he saw from them. I think he will calm down on fight day, but it will be a difficult night." End quote. Perhaps the most anticipated fight of the upcoming card, obviously with the exception of the main and co-main events, is JIri Prochazka versus Jamal Hill. The two light heavyweights will clash in a high-stakes matchup that will not only determine who gets to add a win to his record after getting knocked out by Alex Pereira, but also, depending on the manner of victory, who gets the chance to get another shot at the champion. JIri has already fought Poatan twice, and the results were fairly similar, but he assures us that the next time will certainly be different. And once he gets past Hill, getting revenge on Pereira will only be a matter of time. Jamal, on the other hand, has adopted the Sean O'Malley mentality as it relates to acknowledging a loss, and created a personal beef with Alex, seemingly out of nowhere. So, the end goal of these two is similar, but first they will have to answer a big question on Saturday night. Michael Bisping and Paul Felder break down the fight and comment on the implications.
Jamal Hill, JIri Prochazka. We got the Samurai versus the Slugger. Paul Felder, give me your thoughts.
I just saw Jamal Hill on Saturday. I talked to him.
So did I.
He looks lean. He looks like he's in pretty good shape. I think he's going to get it done. I think he's going to get it done. I know, and I felt so bad even talking to him. I was like, we just had JIri on.
I got to go the other way. I've got to go with JIri Prochazka. I do see
good.
I see a positive victory for Jamal Hill. I see him having big power in his hands. I see the opening of the chin being wide open, a big glaring target from JIri Prochazka. I see all of this, but I also believe in the samurai spirit and the obsession that he has and the power that he has and the maniac that he has, and I mean that in the best way, and I just love everything about that crazy Czechoslovakian. I could not be a bigger fan.